Hi guys, welcome to Attune Bodywork. My name is Cambria Marshall and this is Whitney Green, and we're here to show you a couple easy home techniques for muscle release with your tennis ball. Alright, let's get started. Alright, hey guys, so we are going to work a huge problem area for most of us, which is the shoulder girdle, specifically the rotator cuff. Now, our rotator cuff consists of some nice beautiful muscles on the back of the scapula here leading up into the shoulder socket. It also gets this muscle called subscapularis, and then our pec muscles, or our pec minor. But really, this whole area, we're going to really work this whole area to maximize our range of motion and allow us to feel free in the neck and the upper girdle. So to find the back of the rotator cuff, I'm going to put my hand on my shoulder. I'm cupping my deltoid at the moment. And when I do that, when I grab, my fingertips are going to be right at the back of the shoulder. I'm going to be able to twang over some nice, beautiful chords. You may not have chords, I hope you don't, but I do. And I'm going to be starting there. So I'm going to take this point and I'm going to put my ball there. And I'm going to take the wall and I'm going to lean against the wall. Now I'm going to have my feet like I usually do when I'm working with the tennis ball on the wall, which is the leg closest to the wall is a little bit bent. It's going to be my mover. Going to help me oscillate around. And the leg on the outside is going to be my kickstand. It's going to be my pressure control. So with this, I know you could really dig into this, but we are not trying to break down these muscles. We are trying to get them to work with us. We're trying to get them to melt, and we're trying to get this whole area to expand and relax so that the humerus can have maximum range of motion. So starting in this area, I'm going to really find a good spot that is speaking to me. That might feel a little sharp. It might feel just like that good hurt pain. Right about there. Okay. Once I find that spot, and this is the principle throughout all our videos, find the spot that is irritating you and sit there and be patient and wait. And I'm just going to let my breath become longer and fuller. And I'm going to let my body sink into this. Even if you don't feel like, even if you're like, oh, but I need to press a little bit further to really feel this, like back off just a little bit and let your body sink into it. It's going to be more productive for you. Instead of pushing your way through it, you're allowing the body to invite you in. So after I've sat here for a minute or two, I'm going to start my movement. And this is the key to this whole string of videos, is that we are adding in movement of the person who is doing this. And so we're creating a pin and stretch technique. So I'm going to take my arm and I'm going to take it up and go, ah, definitely feel that. I'm going to utilize my breath. I'm going to take it down. I can try taking it all the way up, but once I get past this 90-degree angle, it's going to become a little less effective. So just for this first area, just keep it within this range. I can also leave my arm there and I can rotate out. Now I really see the arms as one unit, so you can always explore with the other arm to see what it has to say. I can roll up and down a little bit. This is where I can get really good into that nook, keeping my arm out. Now I'm really using this outside leg, to push myself in. I'm not pushing my upper body in. I'm not going like this into working my head. I'm keeping everything straight. I'm keeping my chest up. I'm keeping my abdomen slightly engaged, my pelvis slightly tucked, and I'm pushing with my outside leg to create that force. I can even reach my arm across or even down with a little bit of a traction. If this starts to affect anything else or anything starts to cramp up, ease off a little bit, shake it out, and go back into it. Now, to move into the other areas of the back of the rotator cuff, you can just roll back. That's going to get into our supraspinatus and reach over. I can reach down, and then to get onto my teres, I can hold the ball, and there's going to be a nice long muscle along the edge of the scapula here, and I can reach up and over, pinning and opening that. Now this is such a good area for so many of us. This area can really affect the neck. I cannot emphasize enough how a lot of the time, if you are somebody who is like, their head is just stuck forward, if you work this area, you'd be surprised on how much release you're going to start getting up into the base of the skull and the side of the neck. I can even arch over. Working into all of those little crevices. Again, explore around. If there's something that I'm not saying that you found that feels really good, write it in the comments. Let other people know about it. There's just so many options here. So after I feel like the back of that rotator cuff is good, I'm going to shake it out a little bit. Then I'm going to come to the front. So right in that little nook, I'm not on the shoulder, I'm not in the collarbone. I'm right in the tissue of the pec. Put my ball there, and I'm going to place it on the wall. My first inclination when I was going to demo this was to move this arm. But as me and Whitney were demoing this, we realized that it was actually more productive to use the opposite arm and open the chest. So I'm going to let it soften for a minute. I'm going to keep this bottom arm nice and loose. And when I'm ready, I'm going to use my breath. I'm going to take my arm out, and I'm going to open it. And I can even counter that with doing a slight stretch down to the ground with the opposite arm. Again, and open. Ooh. I'm really working to open. Like, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to open and lift my rib cage, trying to expand this chest, expand the front of the collarbones. I always, whenever I'm doing these kind of things, I think about what is the posture that I want. I want my chest to be proud, I want my head to be back, I want my hips to be balanced, and so I try to find that ultimate pressure, that ultimate alignment, and when I push myself into that place, I usually find a really good stretch from where I'm pinning the ball. If you want, you can explore with the arm against the wall, stretching out. Just being mindful not to stretch too much. I feel like then you're just getting into a stretch and you're losing the pinning effect. So if you're going to use this, maybe stretch the arm away, backward, and explore there. Work the head. And then slowly come off the wall. Now a good way to know if this affected you is to put both your arms in the air. And I can immediately feel, this one feels like it's just floating there in space. This one feels a little bit more restricted. Give them some nice, this one is not popping or cracking at all. This one's got some nice stuff going on. So again, always, like, if you have two sides to work, do one side, get up, walk around, feel it out so that your brain can really associate what you're doing, what the release is. So then as you're walking around throughout the day, it'll keep trying to seek that lightness that you created for it. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a good day.